How do you feel when someone tells you a story? Do you listen closely to what they say, or just nod along without much interest? Maybe your parents told you bedtime stories when you were very young so you could go to sleep. Can you recall those stories now? Did your parents give you helpful advice or warnings in those stories? These questions may not seem important to you, but they are very important to the characters in Sayantani Dasgupta's novel, The Serpent's Secret. Kiran Mala, or just Kiran to her friends, is the protagonist in this story. Being a young Indian girl living in Parsippany, New Jersey, she isn't exactly like everyone else. Her parents don't help here. They own a supermarket near the edge of town, which Kiran gets mocked for by school bullies, and Kiran gets dressed up as an Indian princess on each of her birthdays, which happen to also be on Halloween night. Kiran doesn't understand why her parents won't let her be something other than a princess, why they always live and talk about some fantasy world filled with demons and heroes. Then, on her 12th birthday, Kiran's parents suddenly vanish. Before she can start looking for them, a Rakosh demon, straight out of her parents' stories, tears through the family house and tries to eat her. The next moment, two brother princes from an Indian folk tale, riding on fantastical winged horses called Pakiraj, come to rescue her. From there, it only gets stranger for Kiran, as she finds out a lot of those old stories were real after all. Can Kiran find her parents and write herself a happy ending against the sinister enemies of her own adventure? This novel can be interesting for young adults in a few different ways. There's the language Kiran uses, with phrases and comments that a young girl today would probably make. There are the ways the author brings traditional Bengali folk tales to a worldwide audience, showing people a part of India's culture right down to traditional foods and clothes. There's even the classic hero's journey that so many other great fantasy and action novels have used. Any of these can be a reason someone would like this book. Put them all together, and you get a story that is funny and tense with each chapter. Kiran is also a representation of many young adults today, finding her own path in the world, and sometimes going against her elders' advice. This novel also shows how fantasy and reality can blend together. To readers, the kingdom beyond that Kiran enters is not real, but there are hints of real things there that attentive readers can notice. For example, the novel uses the real-world phases of our moon and black holes in space that devour everything they contact to display the power of the Rakosh. Elements like these show that all stories, even silly ones told at your bedtime, contain kernels of truth and wisdom if you look closer at them. As the novel itself says, everything is connected to everything. You just have to figure out how. The Serpent's Secret is 338 pages of adventure for Kiran, each new point on the journey another step for her to figure out who she truly is. It isn't easy for her, but sometimes the truth is hard to accept. Whether Kiran allows her destined fate to come true is something you will have to discover for yourself by reading the novel at the middle school library.